Hey everyone, it's Jessica and I'm back with another layout for you for Peartree Cutfiles design team. Today I'm using this Your First Breath Took Ours Away cut file. This is from the August 22 release and I am pairing it up with the Simple Stories Boho Baby collection. I absolutely love this collection because honestly you can do so many layouts with this and make each one look completely different, like they're from different collections, because the colors are so different in this. And I just absolutely love it. I've used it a lot, especially lately with all my baby photos. So yeah, I really like it. So what I'm going to do with the cut file is I have already cut it out with some smooth white cardstock. I'm going to take two of these papers out of the mini paper pad and layer them so that I can back my cut file with both of them, because I couldn't really decide on which papers I wanted to use. I knew I wanted to use just two for this, but I wanted to use them both. And I didn't want to back every letter individually. I didn't want to do by the word. I've been doing that a lot lately, so I wanted to do something different. So this is what I settled on, and all I do is I just layer them up and then rough up the edges a little bit. As you can see, I've ripped that one piece of paper, layered it on top of the other one, and then I glue it down with my liquid adhesive pen from Creative Memories, and I'm just cutting out around it, so I'm just trimming off all of that excess. So I'm gonna fast forward that for you. So there you can see that's all trimmed out. And then I've left the middles in as well on this one because I want to keep all that beautiful texture in there from the layers of paper. So I'm not going to trim the middles out on this one. And then here I'm just going to continue backing all of the rest of them. I'm going to use the same technique on the rest of the file, but I'm going to just keep layering those as I go and just kind of matching them up. As you can see, I'm using the excess off of the your word on this, and I still have the S to do, so I just match it up with the next layer as I went. And then here I've pulled out a sheet of textured basil cardstock that's a gray shade and my Nuvo Crackle Mousse in Russian white and this gorgeous heart stencil, and I am just adhering down, or I guess using my spatula to adhere down, this beautiful Crackle mousse. I love this stuff. It just dries so pretty with just such a pretty texture and really adds some dimension to your layouts. So I'm going to just place that down the middle of my layout there where my cut file is going to sit, so you can kind of see it peeking through it and at the top and the bottom. And then here, I really like this darker gray color with little polka dots on it. So I am going to actually rip a couple of these strips, and then a couple of these strips I'm going to cut with my little fringe scissors, as you can see. And I am going to double layer those as well. So I know the challenge for this month is layering, so this can count as my challenge layouts too. So you have all month to play along with that. And then this is just going to get layered right on top of that fringe. So I love that effect. I have never done this before and layered them like that, but I absolutely love it. And I think that fringe looks so cute just peeking out of the bottom. And I'm actually going to do the same thing on the bottom of my layout too, as I've done to the top there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those strips down, and I'm gonna fringe those and put those on the bottom. And here's my photos. I've got 4 of them today that I'm using, which is unusual for me to use that many photos on a layout, but I really couldn't decide on which ones I wanted to use, so I wanted to use all of these. And I actually had 5, and I narrowed it down to these 4. So these are actual photos of literally when my baby was first born in November, and I had a baby girl, so I was super excited. So yeah, that is actually the photo of literally when they plopped her right up on my chest, that top one on the right. So they told me she was a girl, and then they laid her on my chest for me and stuck her hat on her head, and that was that. So she's super cute, and she's literally the sweetest baby ever. She's such a good baby. She sleeps good. It's the first time that I'm witnessing that and getting to experience a good sleeping baby. I know the other night she slept 9 hours straight, and she's only 4 months, almost 5 months actually. She'll be 5 months here. So by the time this video posts, she'll be 5 months in like a week or so. But yeah, she's a great sleeper. She's super sweet, and she's just the most well-behaved. She does everything that I ask of her. She She sleeps a lot during the day too, so I'm able to get all my work done and have her here with me while I'm working full time, and I work from home, so it just works out great, and she sleeps through a lot of my meetings, so she's just a trooper, and she's just so well behaved. So that little heart that you see there is, that's actually something that I did for the Thermoweb design team that I'm part of. So I have a video on their channel of a layout I did where I foiled some hearts, and I had some left over from that layout that I did. So I'm going to use them on this one. So I just made them match that Boho Baby line completely. So yeah, I just pulled them into this layout too. I just love them. They're sparkly and beautiful, and they just went along with this layout just perfectly. So I'm just kind of placing those along my layout, and I'm using some Flair by Scrappin Happy Studio. So I've used a canvas one in the top right, and then I'm going to use a couple of these epoxy ones on the bottom. And I'm not going to really heavily embellish this one because I want the main focus to be on my photos as usual, but on that cut file, because I really, really like how the layering came out on the file. And that I am going to use that little banner sticker, but I just put it aside because I want to put a little something underneath it as well. And I want to actually pop it off my page. So I'm going to get my foam squares out here in a second and pop that up. And then here I'm just kind of searching for anything in this little sticker book from the collection that I can use. Again, I don't want to heavily embellish this. I really like that little lion, but I thought that's going to take away from this, and I didn't really want that to be a focal point either. I don't really have anything else that has a lion on it or anything like that, so I didn't really want to pull that in. So here I'm pulling up my foam squares. I backed the entire back of my cut file with those, and then this little heart was stuck to it, so I had to peel it up. So I'm just adhering that down. And I'm just going to start sticking everything down to my page now. So I like to lay everything out first, kind of, and get the flow from my layout, and then kind of embellish everything, and then adhere everything down. So other than stickers, I like to kind of just get a feel for my layout first before I adhere everything permanently. So here I am just going to put that little cute banner down on the top, and then I'm going to put this other little banner sticker on top of that, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm using a lot of the same words. Boy, it's early in the morning right now, so talking is not my strong point. I'm not a morning person. I'm better like late at night, or actually I do my best thinking honestly between like 2 to 3:30 a.m. or even 4 a.m. That's like my best thinking when I've been up all night. And yeah, I don't know why my brain just decides to function at that given time, but even when I'm trying to sleep, I will literally wake up between that time and cannot shut my brain off. So I don't know. I'm like a major night owl, but I guess that could be considered a morning person, but technically it's not morning if you've been up all night, right? So I'm just going to add a few more stickers here from this little sticker book, and as you can see, I've added a bunch of wordy bits to the left. I felt like it needed some balance on that side because on the top right it was kind of over towards the right side a lot and kind of over towards that edge. So I wanted to bring the left side over towards the edge too, because I felt like it was just bare over there and kind of naked. So I wanted to add some little wordy bits over there. And then just kind of going with that same type of balance, I'm just adding some little words over here too by my little one. So yeah, I'm just going to use this little circle here. I'm going to pop it up with a foam square, and I'm just going to adhere down my Flair with some glue dots. I like to use glue dots on those so that they remain super, super sticky, and I know that they're not going to go anywhere. These other things I'm just popping up with some foam squares, which are also super sticky, I must say. Those are probably my favorite ones that I have, are the Thermoweb ones, because they're really super sticky. I thought about using sequins on this layout, but I opted out of that just because I have that texture in my background behind my cut file. So I thought if I add sequins, it may take away from that, and I didn't want that. So for once, lately I am not using sequins, but usually that's kind of my thing lately. I've been using sequins a lot. So here you can see I'm just sticking down all of those flares with those glue dots. I'm using the medium size by Thermoweb. Then I'm just sticking down everything else, making sure everything's nice and secure and it's not going to go anywhere. If you want to grab this cut file, I'll link that in the description below for you. I'll also link all the other products that I've used today as much as I can remember. Here I'm just trimming off that excess at the bottom. I did overhang that a little bit whenever I put that on from the front side. So I'm just trimming that off from the back. And then that's gonna do it for this one. So pretty easy process today. It's a very cute layout of my little baby girl. I just love how this one came together. If you guys want to play along with that challenge, you have until the end of the month, so you can get your layouts posted in the correct album in the Peartree Cutfiles Facebook group. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, guys.